Barbara, you ready to kick it off?
I'm ready. My husband just walked out. Welcome everybody. I'm Barbara Briamonte. I'm now membership chair for the WMGA, and we really want to welcome you to our annual rep meeting, but our first virtual annual MEP meeting. So we have everybody from all the districts here, and it's just great. Couple of things, if you can read what's here, just so everybody knows we're being recorded. Your mics are off, the video's on. If you have any, I see everybody found the chat function, but if you have any technical difficulties or problems, feel free to chat. Sarah's checking that. I just want to give you a quick, how the program will work is we're all in the room together. But since this year we don't have our meet and greet, coffee and Danish, what we thought we'd do is after the main presentation, we would break off into rooms, into districts. So Long Island, Westchester, Connecticut, and New Jersey, with, basically your other district Met reps and captains and whatnot, to have a little meet and greet and also go through any district, specific things that you want to discuss, questions and whatnot. So that's the plan. And when we get there, Sarah will lead us through how we break off. And then we'll all come back just for a minute for a wind down. So that's the first part. And then we have agenda of a few speakers. I think you could change. Click the change, please. So I just was gonna, that's me. What I really wanted to do is after that, I wanted to tell you who's coming up. So there's me, welcome. Then we'll have Lorianne will speak, Lorianne, our president. Wendy Dominic will speak regarding our team matches. We have a new chair now. We have a volunteer chair, and that's Jeannie Gasson, and she'll speak. And then lastly, but not least, Valerie DiPietro will speak about the foundation, and then back to me, and then to the breakout. So I'm about to turn it over to Lorianne. I just want to say that she's been serving as our president now in her third year. And we really we all should give a big shout out, because while it was an incredible team effort through her leadership, last year we were able to hold 75% of our scheduled tournaments, despite COVID, which, really in the time of COVID, it was one of the most normal things we could do. You could be out there competing, there's camaraderie, there's socialization. It was just brilliant. And also as a result of her efforts over the past 3 years, we've become digitized. So we were able to hold all these virtual meetings and work at home, and the team was able to get everything out there to you. So with that, I think she was speaking beforehand and everybody was listening how she was fostering a rescue dog. She also, in her spare time, works for, now I'm gonna say Puppies Behind Bars, where she helps, it's a group that works with prisoners to teach them how to train puppies to become service dogs for veterans. So she does it all. And now I turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, Barbara. I wish I had a puppy here for everybody. So good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be kicking off with the rest of the group, with Barbara and the team, the 2021 season. With that, on the next slide, you'll see that we've got just a quick agenda where I'll be telling you some of the things we've been doing in the winter months, as well as what we're going to be doing now in the summer months. Next slide there, Sarah. Sarah's driving, so we'll talk to her. So the first thing I just want to reiterate is the swing series. Debbie O'Connell had given us the mindset of a championship. And the reason I want to just say a few words here is not only did Deb extend an offer to the WMGA for a special price for her follow-on session, but she was going to take a portion of that entry fee and donate it back to the foundation. And I'm thrilled to say that she has actually written a check back to the WMGA Foundation for over $1,200. So I'm glad so many people participated, as well as being able to benefit the foundation. The other swing series we did, Sarah, if you click, is the Summit Brands. And if you were there, Kim took us, our account executive, took us through the fashions. By the way, the 30% discount is still available. And oh, by the way, this is a shirt that I got. And I will say to you that not only do you get your 30% discount, but it's even on top of sale items. So my idea is Mother's Day is coming up. Put your list together. Get your 30% discount in regards to that. The other thing that we've done on the next click is our roundtable panel discussions. We spent some time with about 35 to 40 women who gave us very frank and candid feedback. And some of the things that you're going to be seeing about and hearing about that we're changing or we altered was really based on their feedback and their input. So I really thank them for their contributions. The next thing is Women's History Month. Terry, and I'm going to slaughter her last name, Piscatera.
All wrong.
Oh, sorry. Terry did a great job working in organizing and cataloging all the information that we had down in the basement. And with that, we found these great things to do. Sarah and actually Donna did a lot of the editing. Sarah did a lot of the technical background. I put these two up because, you know, what woman and a dog, what a great picture, right? And we had 31 days of the history of the WMGA. It was phenomenal. And then on top of that, click again, we created an e-museum, brainchild of Sarah. This is on our website. You can go see the original 31 stories as well as other documentations. Hats off to Donna, Terry, and Sarah for putting this together. And it's going to be a great new vehicle for us to keep our historical value and information going forward. So thanks to all of you in regards to that. From the roundtable panel discussions, we are going to be doing some focus group with some of the pros in the Met PGA, because one of the things we want to do is how can we let them know about the WMGA and our capabilities that they can then use that to extend their women's programs in the individual clubs. So we're going to be talking to them in the next week or so. And then from that, as well as the panel discussions, is you'll be seeing a membership survey going on out probably the end of April or beginning of May. All right. One of the feedbacks that we got from the roundtable discussions was, boy, whenever we do things, you got to click. You got to click, 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 click. And unfortunately, the internet is clicking. But we took some of that information to heart, talked to our web hosting site, and we're going to have a refresh. So you guys are getting a sneak preview here. We tried to do things where we eliminated double clicks or multiple clicks. So you'll see a drop-down menu so that if you want to go to tournaments and TSB, you could go there in one click as opposed to two. We have 8 quick links. We even have our YouTube video up. So our YouTube video will show you the latest one that's out there. You'll have the MetRep meeting. It'll then show the tournament. So we'll keep you up to date. So you don't have to go to YouTube. You could just go to our website. It'll also have then, that's one of the service dogs over there. He's going to be a PTS soldier dog. But that's our Instagram feed. And then you'll see other feeds, which you can scroll through that we will tell you about news and information. And then the volunteer database, which Jeannie will talk to you about a little bit, we're really focusing on that as well. So this is going to go live, I think, the beginning of next week. And you guys have now had the sneak peek of it. And then on the membership initiatives, if you remember that we had the year of the member is this year, and clearly how do we make sure that we can get those ladies that are part of our member clubs to join? Also, we're looking at to keep incenting in regards to juniors, as well as in May, we're going to be looking at an independent membership drive in regards to that. This is, I think, a critical year because there is so much increase in golf still because of COVID, that how do we make sure that they stay next year when there's going to be more things open and there's going to be less and, you know, other things that are available to take somebody's attention away. Volunteers, as Barbara said, we took our course rating chair position that Heidi had and we elevated it to volunteers, which includes course rating as well as other things because of the special requirements and the need that we have to coordinate our volunteers. And Jeannie will talk a little bit more about that. And again, one of the other things that we want to do is how can we go to our member clubs or clubs that have been members that are no longer members, letting them know what we provide so that we may be able to bring them back into the fold. I wanted to alert you, you've seen some of this. We have 2 clinics going on, April 20th at the Vineyards and April 22nd at Rye. I think Rye is just about filled and the Vineyards is getting there. But please do join us. There's going to be some putting and chipping and pitching instructions. And then, of course, if you're taking a swing, you got to have a sip. So we're doing some swing and sips. So please join us in the Long Island or in the Westchester area. And then on the tournament schedule, I'm very happy to say that we finalized our 2021 season. I want to first of all thank all of you as Met reps in helping us secure this. As you know, it becomes increasingly harder to secure these, not only with the fact that there's an increase in play at each of the clubs, but because there's multiple things trying to get those same venues. So I want to thank you. And with that, I also want to help you or ask you to encourage participation. We the staff, you, the Met rep, it takes a lot of energy and it's a challenge to get these courses. And when we tell them it's a field of 40 and then we only bring 20 people, that's not good. Not that we do that, but we want to make sure we fulfill them as high as we can. And in regards to that, last year we saw about a 20 to 25% participation. I'd like to see that get to a 30, maybe 35% participation, that everybody at least goes to one of them. With that, I did want to note that the Family Day has now been in 3 districts. So there's one in Westchester, Long Island, and New Jersey. Not only does it include the husband, wife, but we've also added a new category called grandparent, grandchild. And please, if you really want to go for the trophy, you have to go to the one that has the star for that championship if you want to get the trophy. The other ones, you'll still play husband, wife, but it won't be a championship in regards to that. So you could play with your sister one day, your brother another day, your mother a third, or if you have 3 husbands, that's great too. But whatever you want to do, you could go to all 3 of them. Registration opens up the 15th of April. And again, we'll talk about the volunteers because we'll need those as well. I want to again thank the 122nd board of directors here. So I appreciate all your help. And the last thing I'd like to do is just give you a view of our new staff this year. So Sarah, next screen. Thank you. So we have Sarah, and she is Command Central. We also have now, starting in the beginning of May, although he's already working, as Brian Levy. Brian is joining us from just graduating from James Madison University, and he has a Bachelor of Science in Sports and Recreational Management, and he is our new tournament manager. We have Suzanne Longlad. Everybody knows she is our office manager extraordinaire, and she is working with us as well this year. And last but not least is a new addition, Addison Burdett. He is just joining us. He is our 9-month Boatwright intern. You will see him at the starter of all the tournaments, and he is working with Brian in setting up for the spring season. So with that, I'd like to turn to Wendy Dominic for the 2021 team matches.
Hi, everybody. That really is me, but I have different, this is my COVID hair. Good to have everybody here tonight. A year ago, when we made the difficult decision to cancel last year's matches, somehow we thought that it would be really easy to get everything going for this year because we had it all done. But it was like starting all over again because we have COVID and we still have COVID. So we're dealing with all of those things. The office staff has been working like crazy to get everything ready, but everything's good to go. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that things will work out. So I'm going to cover specifically the COVID procedures that will apply to the team matches. We do have some rule changes that we actually had planned to start in 2020, but they're new now. Talk about tipping, playing out of order, and making a courtesy call when you're playing short. So these are our COVID procedures for this season. And as you can see, it does say they override any other policies that you might find in the TSB. Things could possibly change. Things are changing all the time. But if there's anything more restrictive, they'll be on the website, and Met reps and captains will all be informed. These procedures, as well as everything new in the rules, is both available online and in, look at this. I'm trying to hold up. There we go. This is weird. Okay, so you're used to seeing the old TSB that got mailed to you. But now it's available online for reading online or for printing. There's two different formats that you can print it out, and it's all in there. But I do want to go over it. I know in New York State, they've just relaxed the quarantine guidelines, but I'm not sure about the other areas. It is up to each player to know what the restrictions are if they've traveled from out of state, and plan accordingly. You do need to wear a mask when you arrive at the club, in the parking lot, if locker rooms are available, in the locker rooms, really everywhere except on the golf course. I'll get to food service next, but if we do have dining areas available, when you're seated and eating, you may remove your mask. We're used to, in the past, having buffet lunches or order up the menu, but due to the pandemic, we will not be having breakfast, and lunches will be a grab and go box lunch. Although we've always encouraged people to stay for lunch, this year it is going to be required. It's not required that you stay, but you will be required to purchase the $25 grab and go lunch. This is our way of supporting the host clubs that aren't making their usual profit, but we want to do whatever we can to support them. And depending on weather and what is available, there might be outdoor seating, there might be indoor dining, or you're free to just take your lunch and go. We're really working towards making every player feel comfortable and safe. We all have different ways of dealing this. So if you want to take your lunch, you can just leave. The cart and caddy situation, I know that some clubs haven't quite worked out exactly what they're going to be having, but the team captains from each club will get that information to the other team captains and to the series captains by email, just as we've always done. But things could be different this year. So we're not requiring any player to have a caddy carry or handle her clubs. There might be 4 caddies who will either drive carts or they will walk and the players will ride in carts. No players will be required to share a cart with anyone else. We've done a survey. We think most clubs have enough carts for players to take their own if need be. Some have installed plastic dividers between the 2 seats, and where that's the case, players may share a cart, or many players are free to share a cart if they want to. But all of this information and also cart fees and caddy fees will be provided to the series captains, who will get it out to each club captain. We're going to try to get that out about 2 weeks ahead of each match, and that's coming up quite soon. But we are aware that things can change. Flag sticks and holes. This is up to whatever the club is doing. Last summer, we saw a lot of foam inserts. We had PVC pipes. We had little plastic lifters, and we had to leave the flag in the hole and weren't supposed to touch the flag stick. Whether that or not that will be in effect is up to each club. So we do ask you, if there are inserts or lifters, that you leave the flag in the hole. If you've played with the foam inserts, you know that it makes the hole rather shallow, and the ball doesn't always like to stay in there. But for the purpose of the rules, going in and coming out isn't the same as being holed, so you have to get it in the hole. As far as bunkers and rakes, If the rakes are provided, then you're going to use them and there will be no special relief. In some cases, if there are caddies, the caddies will take care of all the raking. But if there are no rakes at all on the course, we're having a lift, clean, and place your ball within one open scorecard length in the bunker, no nearer the hole. And then we hope you'll try your best to smooth out any footprints with your feet. Everything will be posted as usual, the score sheets, the local rules, the final team entry forms. Everything will be the same. Pens and markers will be provided, but there will also be hand sanitizer right there for anybody to use before or after handling the pens or markers. And then one change, this is due to COVID, just because we didn't want to get into what might be a COVID related situation and so forth. There will no longer be 1-point penalties for playing short. Of course, you will lose the points for that position. So if you come with only 4 players, you can't win those 3 points, but we're not deducting the extra point. And that's it for that. And now we have some rule changes for the team matches. As I just mentioned, the 1-point penalty is eliminated. There's also a change to what used to be, if you played short more than once, your team was disqualified. We decided that you lose enough points by playing out of order, but let's not go there. So you're no longer disqualified for playing short. DQ change for playing out of. Oh, maybe oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I had that flip-flopped the way I was saying it, because I'm looking. Okay, so DQ change for playing out of order. It used to be that if you played out of order twice, you were DQ. So I'm jumping back to the third arrow here. Sorry about that. So play out of order, you're going to lose a lot of points, and I'm going to go through some information about playing out of order. But you will not be DQ. However, there are some significant disqualification changes for playing short. In the past, if you only had 2 players, your team would be DQ for the rest of the season, and you drop down to the bottom of your series if you had 2 players. We've changed that. We know it's a challenge sometimes to get a full team, and when a team is disqualified, it really is unfortunate for all the other teams in the series as well. So we're working towards keeping everybody playing. So instead, you're only going to be disqualified if you only have 0 or 1 players. And if that happens, you will be disqualified for the rest of the season, and you will drop down to the bottom of the very last series, and you might be on a waiting list to get back in. That was always that way with 0 or 1, but we've changed it so that 2, you're good to go.
So Wendy, just there was a question here. How many times can you play short during a 5-match series? You can play short every match.
Every time. If you play short, I believe it's 3 times, and you do that 2 years, you get a warning letter after 2 years. But yes, you could come with 2. You could with 2 players every match. We don't anticipate that, but things happen. but we're trying to keep everybody playing. Was there a different slide for, I wanted to talk, oh, no. Okay, so I'm just talking now.
Yep.
Oh, I have more to say, I'm not finished.
Yes.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about playing out of order. It's probably one of the most painful things for a team to have to deal with, and it's sometimes doesn't get picked up right away until we're checking the scores, and that's something that the district captains do, and I also check them, and it's unfortunate that it happens, but it really is a costly as far as losing points. A really good idea is, you think you know the order, but the final team entry forms are posted on the bulletin board. It's the thing that has every team in your series with a little, light blue cover, and you really should look at it. Just don't do it from memory. And I know before I took on being team captain, and after I was as well, our team captain always assigned me to be the one to double check. I mean, it just doesn't hurt to have somebody else, they would go write those 5 names in, and then I'd be off having my cup of coffee, and I knew my job was to check and make sure she got it right. Clubs that have, oh, and one more thing, it is in the TSB, but we've had a few problems with it in the past. If 2 players on your team have identical handicap indexes, they have to play in the order that they're listed in the final team entry form. Captains or Met reps had a chance when they submitted their teams to choose the order they wanted, and that's the order you need to stick with. Clubs that have more than 1 team, some have 2, some have even 3, have to be particularly careful about playing in correct order. The low 5, let's just say on a given day, you have your 10 players who are going to play. Doesn't matter if it's players 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20. The low 5 that are going to play have to play for the first team. The next 5 are going to play for the second team. You just really, really have to be careful about this. If a match is conceded, so let's just say, because this happened, it was very unfortunate. So just let everybody know what has to happen. If in your first team, you're conceded a match, so you only need to have 4 players, your number 5 player on your schedule, on your list, can't go play for the second team. Now your 6th player could, but the players 1 through 5 can only play for the first team. But your 10 players have to play in order, whoever they are. If you have any questions at all about it, please consult your series captain, consult your book, consult your district captain, call me. We don't want it to happen. It's not good. So please be careful. One other thing, I don't think we've had this happen, at least not in the, I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but not as long as I've been involved as either district or team match chair. If one of the series is canceled due to bad weather, but the other team plays, then they're rescheduled. That gets really tricky on who is available to play. So if they played in, the ones that played cannot play for the other team when it's rescheduled. And the order also gets pretty tricky. The tournament schedule book under the team matches has a very fairly clear explanation of who can and cannot play. It gives examples, but if that happens, I think the best thing to do is just look at your book, look at who you have, and then call me up. Because it could be a shame. It really, bad situation. If your team is going to play short, you may, as a courtesy, call the opposing captain. It's a nice thing to do so that the captain will know that they don't have to bring all 5 players. You also have to send them an email. We do need to have it in writing. Copy your series captain in that email. If you concede your match, and I think you're supposed to do this by 8 o'clock the night before. If you concede the match, you can't take it back. You know, you were hoping that Martha Sue was going to be able to make it. You've been waiting for a call from her, hoping she could do it. 8 o'clock came, you thought, I better tell that other team that we're playing short. Martha Sue calls you. She said, hey, I can play after all. Unfortunately, it's too late. Once a match is conceded, it is conceded. Just one little possibility I want everybody to know about. Let's say that the weather forecast for the next day is just horrible. And maybe you've even been in touch with the team captain of the host club, and they really don't know if they're going to be able to play it. And then you are considering conceding the match because you only have 4 players. If you were to concede, unfortunately, when that match is canceled and rescheduled on a beautiful sunny day next week, you've already conceded. So you can't even take it back then. Just something to consider. And then one more thing is, if your team has been conceded a match with what we assume will be happy permission from the host club, the player who doesn't get to play could bring another WMGA member from her club along to play in that empty slot. And with that, I think Donna's writing something from Donna DeMarco to everyone. Yes, because as Wendy said, oh, somebody must be answering questions and she's answering them?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know what that was. Well, anyway, oh, well, look, can I introduce the district captains?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is Sheila O'Malley right there, our district captain from Long Island. Hi, Sheila. This is my phone a friend. I didn't talk to Kathy today. We've been very busy getting ready for everything. This is Kathy Flicker from New Jersey. Hi, Kathy. And this is Laura Coash from Westchester, Connecticut. And she couldn't be with us tonight because she's off on some fancy island somewhere on a vacation. Yes, look at all those great looking teams with their uniforms. Yep, we're ready to go. And now I'd love to introduce our newest board member and a good friend of mine, Jeannie Gaston, our new volunteer chair.
Right. She does have to unmute.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jeannie Gaston. It's just Gaston, nothing exciting. I'm the new volunteer chairperson. I have been very blessed that golf has been a big part of my life since I've been 9 years old. I've had many volunteer role models, whether it was while I was playing in the New York State Junior Girls Tournaments or playing on the WMGA Junior Girls Golf Team, participating in WMGA events or coaching golf, college golf. I'm so happy to be able to give back and be part of an organization that has promoted golf for 122 years. Our organization is rich in its history of volunteerism. If you've had an opportunity to read any of the roles, the women from the history of the women who were highlighted last month, you will see that they all had donated so much of their time to the WMGA, which is why I think the organization has been so successful. As you know, we depend upon and appreciate all your help in making our organization run smoothly. I am also asking your help to get your members interested and involved in volunteering for either tournament or non-tournament positions. Some of the examples would be for non-tournament positions, we need Met reps, which you all are. If someone backs out, we need them. We need series captains. We need mentors for some of the juniors. We need course raters. And on the tournament front, we need spotters, rules officials, pace of play monitors, and we all know how much we love seeing them out on the golf course. For a tournament volunteer, we're not asking for a full day either. It's just a portion of a day, and we have the time required on our web sign up so you can choose the time slot that suits your needs. We are in the process of updating our online sign up, which will be part of the website refresh. So once you sign on to that, you will be able to see what each position requires. This will then be the, when you sign on to the new database, this will also be the volunteer database that I will use and I will be overseeing. We are also launching an appreciation program this year by issuing special gifts to those who have donated so much of their time to the WMGA. And it will be depending upon the amount of time that they donate. The prize will, the gift will be coordinated accordingly. We are continuing the volunteer awards program to clubs or members who go above and beyond in providing support to the WMGA. And this will also be awarded at the annual meeting, and this award will be given to each district. But right now we are in dire need. If any of you have any desire to be a course rater, we definitely need some women to help the MGA on May 13th and May 20th at 2 clubs in Westchester. If you are interested, if you don't have a lot of experience or you have some experience, the MGA will walk you through it. And as a matter of fact, they are starting a new 3-part webinar on course rating, which will certainly help the process along. The MGA provides the men to rate, but we feel it is so important to have a woman's perspective on, for a proper course rating. So thank you all for all you do as Met reps, and don't be surprised if you may get a phone call from me if I need some help at your club or a club in your area. And hope you all have a good season.
Thank you, Jeannie. We'll turn it over to Val.
Thanks, Jeannie. Thanks, Sarah. So thank you all for joining tonight. I hope everybody has a glass of wine like I do. And so this, believe it or not, is the 20th year of the WMGA Foundation. And last year, at the beginning of the year, we told a little story. And somebody said to me, gee, we were up by 2 women drinking some wine on the patio. But it was really the foresight of, as I always like to say, our sisters before us who had the foresight to want to give back to a game that has given us all so much. So I just want to start out by thanking those of you who have supported the foundation over the years. We couldn't do this without you. We can't achieve our goals without our support of our members, our former members, and friends of the foundation. So we really have 2 goals. One, to provide scholarships to deserving young women on a need basis. Since 2003, the foundation has committed over $800,000 to 125 women. This year's scholarship application is due on the 24th. We also have outreach in support of junior golf. As you know, we have our Girls to the Tee program. And we currently have it in all 3 districts. Unfortunately, we're trying to get the schedule this year, and we were recently told that Ridgewood cannot host for 2021. So we're looking for another location in New Jersey. So if anybody has any great ideas, please reach out to me. We provide mentors to our WMGA Junior Independent members. Heidi, we featured Heidi Camaria last year and her mentoree. They had a wonderful relationship. It wasn't about golf necessarily. It wasn't about schoolwork necessarily. It was a little bit of everything. And it was really a wonderful experience for them. I know Carol Goldman had a mentoree. So if you're interested, please reach out through the volunteer portal. We also provide stipends to junior members who qualify for USGA events, although that's a smaller initiative, but we've done that kind of forever. So as I mentioned, last year we started out speaking to you directly on foundation business. We gave a brief history of the foundation last February. We also reintroduced you to a few of our original scholarship recipients from 2007, I guess. We got to know our class of 2020, which included 2 sisters of prior recipients, something that I think really says a lot, that they wanted to make sure their sisters jumped on the bandwagon. We drove down our junior roadmap showing how the foundation programs and the WMGA Foundation, the WMGA junior programs are really linked together to support girls and young women. So this year we've introduced something called Tiny Tales from the Tee. They're going to be included in monthly emails, and they're also on our website. We feature one tiny tale in our news in our email, and those of you who you may have seen the story about somebody's mother jumping in a pond and the mother-daughter. Thank God it wasn't my mother, because I'm not scarred for life from that, thank God. But we've had a few people actually submit some tiny tales. So in their last newsletter, we introduced a new tiny tale about people ignoring their house guests and so they could play Winged Foot. We also posted a few more, one about a few women beating a few men in a little Sunday afternoon golf. And this month we will be telling some tiny tales about team matches. So if you have a tiny tale, please submit it. The purpose is to really talk about friendship, camaraderie, and empowerment. We encourage anyone to tell a story. It could be happy, it could be sad, it could be inspiring, funny. Really just capturing a moment when you were on or around the golf course. We want to have a human connection. We don't want any stories about, rules of golf. Sorry, Wendy. And we'll publish pretty much everything unless it's completely inappropriate, which I can't imagine this group would have anything that's inappropriate. You can include your name, but we'll also publish it anonymously. And if somebody wants to submit a picture, we'll publish the picture with the story. We're hoping these stories incentivize young women to play golf and dispel any notion that golf is dull, and inspire members to donate and further empower women and promote the game and assist young women attaining their education goals. So of course, as we approach team matches, don't forget the Swing for Scholarships pledge of $1 a point for team matches. One year I kind of did it as a joke. I said I'd donate $5 a point, and my team won 70 some odd points. Wasn't very happy. And also, please keep an eye out for our 2021 fundraising activities. In connection with our 20th anniversary and International Women's Golf Day, which is June 1st, we're going to be hosting a virtual golf classic. So grab your friends, best ball of 4 on your home golf course. There's a week which you can actually play the tournament, and we're going to have a live scoring feature via Golf Genius. Prizes will be awarded for low gross and low net, and the details of the launch will be in our April email. So keep an eye out for that. For those that can't participate in the Virtual Golf Classic, or for even those that can, we'll once again host our non-event, which really requires you to do nothing but to support the foundation and its goals. And as always, the true test of golf, closest to the pin contest, will be held at certain WMGA events, like the husband and wife. Those that participate, you have a 50-50 chance. Think a few people won over $400 last year, $400-500, which is a nice little pot of money. So as they say, you have to be in it to win it. So with that, I think I turn it back over to Lorianne.
Actually, it goes to Barbara, I believe.
It goes actually to me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. I forgot
all right.
that.
I muted myself. So thank you all our speakers. So before we break into the breakout rooms, and Sarah something will pop up and it will tell you how to click. Just wanted to remind you that the session was recorded. It'll be on our website, as Lorianne showed you. We will also follow up with an Inside the Ropes to recap the meeting. That'll be sent via email to you. I'm sure you remember our goodie package where you used to get an envelope with all the important information. Well, now we're the digital age, we'll be emailing that all to you. In that package will be our tournament schedule. And we ask if you could please print it and put it in the locker room or wherever your members now, you can post it and where they can go. We always tell you to review your emails and please share it with the fellow club members. And we will be hosting an event. We'll be sending more information this year on May 26th at 7. We're going to have a virtual cocktail party to celebrate our team events. So as we ask you every year, if you could take pictures, if you send them into the office, Sarah, Suzanne, or to give them to your, either the district captain, or get them in even to me. If you email them, we'll collect them. We'll be able to make, maybe a nice montage for our party. Also, any stories, things that happen, sort of, leveraging or pivoting at what you said about the tiny tales. But it's really a celebration of us and really our opportunity to compete and play. So we ask you to do that, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll break people up into their districts. So it's an opportunity, again, to meet those people. And on that, for those who don't see on, we really thank you for all that you do. You are, you're it for us. You're our ambassadors. You're our voices to the club members, and we really appreciate all the hard work.